What's up?
So where are we off to today?
Today we're going to Santa Rosa, New Mexico, home of the Blue Hole, which is a big pond, a very deep one, that we're going to check it out. I've seen the signs along the road before. We have gone through Santa Rosa many times, usually when we were driving to Austin. And I remember we also drove through, that's where we turn. We turn at Santa Rosa and we go south. They go through Texas, basically.
Texas is a big state.
Texas is humongous.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
I want to know what the plan is, except that I probably haven't shared it with you, but what do you believe the plan is?
I believe the plan is to scout. We're going to go look at Santa Rosa and the Blue Hole and see what we like about it and practice a little bit with the cameras and get some footage. And it's kind of a scouting trip. We're going to learn more about scouting this week. That's my impression of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a good impression. What I've read about it tells me that it's the home of what New Mexico refers to as the Santa Rosa Blue Hole, which is an 81-foot deep, clear water, spring-fed pond. It's only about 60 feet across, but we want to use that opportunity to try out our ROV in that kind of condition, a more real-world condition than the swimming pool that we had it in last week. Also, it's home to an auto museum, the Route 66 Auto Museum, and I think I've been there before because I think it's associated with a family whose name is Russell, and I'd like to visit that. Also, there is Santa Rosa Lake State Park, which we may or may not visit, but maybe just take a drive through to see what it's like, because it's supposed to be a well cared for camping facility. And then there are some other ponds that are also spring fed in the area, that some of which are in public lands, some of which are on private lands, but the ones on private lands are open to divers. So I don't know if our ROV qualifies as a diver just yet. We'll see. So that's where we're going. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to enjoy the day.
And how long of a trip is it from where you live to Santa Rosa?
It's, if I remember correctly, it's 132 miles, so it's about a 2-hour drive.
Oh, well, here we are at the Blue Hole in Santa Rosa. And it's very nicely turned into like a swimming hole. Very nice one. Well kept, well maintained. There was a guy up in the bucket working on the wires the whole time we were there. A little bit breezy that day. Here you can see what the hole looks like, because they did a drawing of it. Kind of tells you that it's like an hourglass.
And if you're going to dive in it with an ROV, make sure you look at that map before you dive. So when we first got there was absolutely nobody there. And we thought it was going to be a good day for the ROV, but all of a sudden people started showing up. Now you got to remember, the water temperature is 61 degrees. So
Fahrenheit.
if you're a diver and wearing a wetsuit, the wetsuit insulates you with a layer of water. But these folks were swimming in it without a wetsuit. So kids, lots of kids. At some point, I became the most popular guy in the place because.
Oh, look at you.
So this gentleman wanted to help me get the ROV into the water. He was very
All
kind.
right, here we go. All right, we're going to start our dive. Shelley, are you got video over there?
Yeah. It's
There we
on.
go. Head it down. I'm going to actually go forward just a little bit, so more in the center. I don't want to get too close to those cables. All right, here we go. Head it down. Go ahead, let it out. When it starts, okay, I'm going to move away from that. There's something else down there that,
Oh, that's cool. You're gonna go all the way on the bottom?
I think so. We're going to see what we can find in some of these locations here. Come here, baby doll. That's under the water at 60 feet right there.
Oh, no, can I see? Oh, you can see.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Oh, no, this is just them.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I'm going to go further down, see what else we can see, okay?
So like in murky water, is it clear or is it?
No, murky water, you know, this is perfect because it's perfectly clear water. I can see, you know, way down. But if you put it in murky water, you can barely, you've got to turn the lights on and then you can only see what's in front of the lights. The lights are off right now. But even like if I turn the lights on, you won't be able to tell the difference because the water is so clear.
Oh, yeah.
So right there, see the lights? Did you see
I
them?
wondered how that would look at the lake.
So there's the little things in front of the lights. Oops, oh sorry.
That is so
And then I'll turn the lights off. And you can't see the little tiny white things floating, right? Those lights on. All right?
Where have you tried this at? Just here? Or?
No, the only place we've tried it is a swimming pool so far. This is like the first real underwater test. All right, you ready with the tether? We're going to go down again.
Well, ain't that cool?
Oh, that's the bottom, it looks like. See, we're on the bottom.
Or maybe it's like you gotta go more to the side.
There's a couple cliffs that keep knocking down. That's neat though.
I don't see any fish. You see any fish?
There's fishes over there. Yeah, I heard there's
Oh, they're closer to the top. So let's go.
saw some.
You saw some?
Yeah, only one.
Back up.
Don't go there.
How do you go?
Back up.
How do you go up?
So with this knob, it has strings. So if I want to go up, I just press that, and it goes up. Is it coming back towards you?
It's out here now.
Oh, I just got a picture of him.
It's right behind you.
I touched him.
You see it? It's almost at the top. Now it's at the top.
It's what?
It's at the top, spitting.
Oh.
What's this place called?
Route 66 Auto Museum.
There it is. Bob's Big Boy. This is the front part where the gift shop is.
They have a very complete gift shop.
I like those benches, like car backs or something.
Like a
Trunk
the
of
buck-
the car.
yeah, the back part of the car. So we don't have time, unfortunately, to do this justice, but as I said earlier, we'll be making a video of this all by itself to put it.
That was a pretty amazing basket,
Harley Davidson.
woven
HD.
reeds to a motorcycle shape.
So every car in this museum is restored and customized beautifully. So they don't do just restorations, they do customizations as well. And they are all done. So there was a woman there, and she said that all the work was done by her husband and his garage. They have a garage in Santa Rosa called Bozo's, and he does all the work. And they fund themselves by selling the vehicles. A lot of the vehicles, as you can see, have signs on them as to what they would cost if you wanted to buy them. The Cadillacs, I noticed, were restored rather than customized. There were several vehicles that were kind of restored to pristine condition. He had other things as well, as bicycles and scooters. I don't know if you remember the old, what's the name of that brand? It's an American brand. I'll think of it before the day
A
is over.
scooter or
The scooter, yeah, Cushman. I owned one way back when I was doing newspapers. So this is one of the examples of a custom. It's a '55 Chevy with a Corvette LS3 engine inside of it. So it would really rock and roll if you were to take it out on the street. There were several like that, but as I said, there were several that were just restored to original condition. And it really depended on the vehicle. You could almost tell the custom ones. This one's, I recognize this because my Aunt Katie owned one, the convertible. It's a Pontiac. So all kinds of different work, and it's all done by the same garage. They're expensive. The most expensive one I saw was the Bronco that you'll see, a completely restored original Bronco with a 302 engine in it. Love the color on this. This is a Buick. This was one of my favorites. I keep wanting to say there's lots of favorites. A favorite. This is a 49 Ford Woody with a 5.0 liter Cobra engine in it, Ford Cobra from the Mustang series. This is a Chrysler Hemi inside of a work truck. And this is the Ford that I was talking about. It's a Ford Bronco, original 1964 Ford Bronco. And it had if I remember correctly, 302 and a 3-speed standard transmission, 125 now. But you could see that it's just amazingly not only restored, but customized, you can imagine. So this is the route that couple was taking. We saw them here as well. When you heard the person yelling in the background as somebody dove into the water, that was his wife, his significant other.
water in the Santa Rosa Lake is quite low. I don't know if that's a yearly thing. We were talking to a woman at the car museum, and it sounded like it was a yearly thing, but I don't know. It could just be because of the drought. What do you think?
I think it's a combination. I think it is down yearly after or during the when they're using it for agricultural purposes, but this was down lower than normal. The other interesting thing about this particular reservoir, it's one of the reservoirs that is managed by the Army Corps of Engineers, and you'll see a lot of that there. It is a very nicely maintained facility. Camping areas, very complete camping areas. The water is very, very brown. And I thought it was lower than it would be even in a good year. But the interesting thing about this particular reservoir is that it is fed by the Pecos River. All the other reservoirs that we've been to, oh, that's not true. We were on the Rio Chama. So we've been to reservoirs on the Rio Chama, the Rio Grande, which is Elephant Butte, and now one on the Pecos. But when you look at the camping facilities, very nice camping facilities with a lot of nice restrooms, not just what are they called? The boxes. What do they call this? Porta potties.
Mm-hmm.
They have buildings, restroom buildings. So it's a beautiful, nice facility.
It's a state park.
It's a state park, right, but managed by the Corps of Engineers.
All right. That was our day in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. It's great place to visit, especially if you like swimming in cold water or looking at old cars or going to the lake. They have lots to do here in Santa Rosa, and it's only 2 hours from Albuquerque, so it's a great day trip. If you just want to go one place, probably more than just if you want to go to every place. But yeah, do that. Santa Rosa. Any questions?